Heading back down Vinton Gulch. Water's dropped quite a bit since I've been here. It's been 2 weeks. It's dropped about 25 feet or so. Whole bunch of grass growing right there. I'm not sure what that is, but it's super bright green. Looks like grass. A lot of vegetation either way. All these dormant seeds that have been under the water for decades are popping up. It's amazing what weeds can actually grow after all that. This is where I caught that big catfish a couple weeks ago. You can see the camera was set like right there. I was standing right here. Nothing but flat mud bottom. I don't know what it was doing back here, but sure glad I caught it. It's kind of hard to see how much it's dropped in one shot, but you can see the water's way down there. All this has dried out in the last 2 weeks. Two weeks ago there were still fish back here, but a week ago there wasn't. I did try, came here in my kayak. Water's dropped quite a bit. There's nothing but mud and sediment. In my kayak video, I was like right down there, right over there, when I turned around just a week ago. You see, 2 weeks ago I was fishing along this stretch here where the road is. And you can see the water's dropped quite a bit. I mean, around 20 feet or so. The wide angle lens really doesn't show it. These trees are really big, and that's quite a steep drop off. And that's just nothing but mud bottom. Whole thick layer of sediment. I would not recommend walking on it. I mean, it could be 10 feet deep and you'll sink. It's like quicksand. It's kind of ridiculous. So don't do it. I'm gonna hike out, see if I can catch a fish real quick, but I only have about an hour or so I can't waste too much time. Yeah, it's scary steep right here where the road drops off. These trees are massive. I think these are the type of trees that they didn't bother cutting down because for some reason in their head they never thought the lake would be this low. So they didn't even bother cutting these down when they filled it up. You could say the same thing about Lake Shasta. There's this whole layer where it's like nothing, 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 and the lake drops far enough. And trees everywhere. Well, that's because in their infinite wisdom back in the 30s, they literally never thought the lake would drop that low. Here in the 70s, they kind of thought the same thing here at Oroville, and they didn't clear all this out of the lake because they didn't think the water would ever drop this low. Well, surprise, surprise. It drops this low all the time now. So, there you go. There's all the trees. Here's where the water is. You can see it's coming in right here. Oh, there's water coming in, but it kind of disappears up there under the ground. But all this has dried out in the last week. Right to here where the water actually is. So if you saw my last video, I was kayaking, actually turned around like right there and then came out through here. I'm telling you, the wide angle just doesn't do it justice, but like that's darn near 20 feet that has dropped off in the 2 weeks since I've actually walked this section. And I had no idea it was that steep when I was fishing it. because I've never seen it this low. This is right around the lowest it's ever been. Besides when they filled it up, you can see the pillar over there is finally out of the water all the way. There should be a car over there sticking out of the water. That's where I caught a fish last week when I was kayaking. And you can see the road. It doesn't go all the way out, like I said. Fortunately, a piece of it sheared off right here, so it's a little sketch. You remember I was fishing from the bank here last time. I was actually standing like right here, and I caught 3 in a row right off this drop off. Somebody's been here. Looks like bank fishing. Look at all these footprints since my last video. Hope they caught something. I'm sure they did. It's just sad how low it is. Looks like a boat pulled in right here. Be careful, it's deceptively thick sediment right here. Stuck my foot in back there and it sunk. Here's the road I was telling you about. And it does actually go all the way out and around and crosses right over there. It's the older road that used to go across instead of the 70 bridge. I can't believe how quick it's dropping. There's all kinds of stuff sticking out of the mud over there. Tires, boxes, all the stuff people have been throwing off the bridge. There was, I think it was 2015 or whenever the last low point was, that they actually did find a guy stuck in the mud here, and he had jumped off the bridge, killed himself a few years earlier, and he had been stuck there for a few years. I mean, so it's hard to express how high that is. But from where the bottom of that pillar is all the way up to the top, it's well over 250 feet. And then from the top of the bridge is a whole nother like 30 feet, so. Don't do it. Life's too good for that. You won't be catfish food, do you? I don't hear them today, but there are peregrine falcons that live on this bridge. You hear them every once in a while. It's pretty awesome. Been told by James that there's actually a pair on the other bridge down there, 162. Sometimes you hear them. It's pretty awesome. You can see last time I was here, left my stuff right up there. The water's dropped this much. Now there's not really a great place to fish. It's just this steep rock where the road goes in. There's maybe a spot to land a fish over there. But it went from being fishable to not fishable. So, I don't know. I'm gonna give it a few minutes, a few casts. I really don't have much time. I'm gonna get out of here quick. Unless I catch something awesome right away. Alright, I got my pole set up. I'm just gonna go relax for a little bit, see if I catch anything before I put a different lure on. Just have the red worms I dug up. I've been dumping night crawlers in my yards for a couple years, but every time I dig in my garden, I only seem to dig up red worms. They're a lot smaller and hard to hook, but free's free, right? looking over here trying to figure out what I'm doing. Just hanging out, buddy. Might be turning around. What am I doing? Either a bottle cap, a beer can, or a penny. I didn't bring my shovel down, so I don't know. If I read anything that reads one solid number, I'll be digging it up. Okay, if I gotta use a rock. Alright, so no bites. Not surprised. But I gotta go get my pole. Screw rig, put on a fly. See what happens. Getting some bites. Little ones, but I'm getting bites. Okay, I hooked one. I have no idea how I'm gonna land it. Hopefully it's a small one. That is. And it's wrapped anyways. Oh crap. Oh man. Well, this is gonna be fun. Let's see what we got. Ooh, that's slippery. I can see it. It's stuck. There it goes. Rock climbing and fishing. Oh boy. Lost 3 lures here. They're on a baby bass lure and caught one on the first cast. Little baby one. No skunks. I'll take it. Sorry, bud. I only got a little bit more time. I'm gonna give it a few more casts and get out of here. Not the fish I'm looking for, but honestly, I don't see how I can land it right here. It's 2. Lost that baby bass lure, but I have one more lure to put on. Another small one. Clean, they're pretty. Not what I'm looking for though. Yep, there you go. Off to fight the fire. It's dragging a rope way behind it. Hope they get a handle on that fire soon. Here's the falcon. All right, I spent about an hour here total. I'm out of time. I gotta go. I'm beyond late. I lost 4 lures, caught 2 fish, had 3 or 4 bites. Disappointed is an understatement. Here's the part where the road sheared off. Let's see. It's gone. It's fun to get around now. Yep. You can see there is water coming in, but then it disappears right here where it sinks in. There is a small trickle of the creek coming in back here. That's why the willow trees are getting so big. I'll show you in a minute. You can see how much water is coming in right here. Just a tiny little bit through the willow trees all the way down from the top. And that is why the willow trees are doing so great. Getting huge. There's little frogs in there. Soon jump in. When the water's up, I've actually seen like 2-3 pound bass in this creek, so they do come up here and use this when it's up. You can see how big the willow trees are getting. Twice the size as last year almost. That's gonna do it for me today. Like I said, I'm running late. I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed I didn't catch any good fish. But when I left the house this morning, I wasn't really planning on fishing, so I guess I can't be too mad.